So the San Jose Giants pregame show, the Giants here at home this week against the Modesto Nuts. I'm Joe Ritzo, and it's time now for our weekly player interview, and I'm joined by Giants pitcher Trevor McDonald. Trevor, thanks for joining me today.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Well, tell me about your year here so far. You're about halfway through this season here at the single A level in the California League. How do you feel it's been going for you up to this point?
It's been fun. Definitely a lot better than my previous years here in the organization. I feel like I've improved on a lot. So I'm happy with where I'm at. I still got a lot to get better at. I feel like I'm getting better every time I get on the mound, though, with things, and getting more confident and figuring things out. So hopefully we can keep improving and finish the second half pretty strong.
You're a part of the 2019 draft class, drafted out of high school. I've always felt the 19 draftees kind of a short end of the stick, right? Because you barely get a chance to start your career, and then the 2020 season gets wiped out, and 21 you're back in Arizona. How have you kind of just battled through the whole thing as you're trying to just kind of jumpstart your pro career here?
It's been tough, definitely, coming out of high school, and then you jump into that, and you got the ups and downs and the cancel year like you was talking about with COVID. But, I mean, it's not been as bad as it seems. I think that's just more preparation and the adversity you face and going through the minor leagues. It's a grind in every aspect, and that's a part of it. So, I think it'll help in the long run, that adversity, and hopefully transfer to making it to the bigs, stuff like that.
How do you feel you have improved this year? You mentioned that you feel like you've taken some big steps forward, and obviously the numbers really reflect that as well.
I think the main thing is probably mechanically. Obviously a completely different pitcher than my previous years. Changed some things up, shortened arm action up. Just feel more in control of the zone with all of my pitches. More consistent, more confident with them, and just overall just feel a lot better.
Visiting with Trevor McDonald here on the pregame show. You're part of this piggyback system that the club's been using most of the year. And the organization, of course, views you as a starter, but you're usually coming in out of the bullpen. But on a starter schedule, it's kind of complicated how it's all worked. How have you approached it mentally, and how do you handle kind of going through this situation this year?
Yeah, it's a little different, but it's nothing crazy. I enjoy it, being on that starter schedule and know what I'm going to throw. Hopefully at some point I can work my way into an actual starter role and get past that 2, 3, 4 inning mark, and hopefully expand. But it's whatever we need right now. I'm good with it. Just try to go out there and keep doing my best.
When do you kind of start mentally maybe getting yourself ready to come into a game? I know with this piggyback system, they like you to start an inning fresh, but you don't necessarily always know when you're going to get that call.
I try to stay locked in, that whole day, but, before I even come to the field, just imagining the game in my head already, and just doing things right, and just trying to get locked in, I don't ever know what inning I'm going to come in, like you said, but I stay pretty ready down there. So,
visiting with Trevor McDonald here on the Giants pregame show, and I know team chemistry is something that gets thrown around a lot, but it does seem like, especially this group pitching wise, that you guys really seem to get along. That it's a big part of the success from this group here so far this season.
Oh yeah, great bunch of guys. We've all got great friendships. We hang out every night after the game, away from the field. Before we come to the field, we're always together, it seems like. So really good chemistry, and I think that helps. It's probably one of the reasons why we're one of the best staffs in the league, I feel like. So.
Well, you grew up in Mississippi. You were telling me you were a big Braves fan growing up. Was baseball always your number one sport?
Yes, it was. I played a little pee-wee football and middle school football and some basketball and whatnot. But once I, got into my high school ages and stuff, it was just strictly baseball. So.
Well, obviously you had a great career in high school. Got yourself drafted. At what point, as you were kind of growing up, did you have a feel that, boy, I could do this in college maybe? Maybe I can even do this at the professional level?
I didn't have any idea about the professional level until going into my senior year. I kind of took that fall off going into it and put on a little bit of weight, and then I come back. My dad always caught my bullpens in the off season, so I come back and started throwing a little bit harder. He was first to notice, and so he went and bought like a cheap radar off eBay or whatever, and he come back. My first live in scrimmage in high school, he told me I was throwing 95, and I said, I think you got a bad radar gun. But turns out Velo had picked up some, so I went to a showcase down in Florida, and I got some attention, and things kind of took off from there. So.
Well, and 95, that'll absolutely work. The Giants drafted you in 2019. And how about that kind of decision process for you? Because you had some great options. I mean, you could have gone the college route. Obviously, the Giants were very interested in you and drafted you highly. What was that whole process like, going through it as an 18-year-old back then?
It was fun. It was interesting for sure. You got college half. I want you to come to college and kind of talk you out of the pros and whatnot. But I enjoyed the whole process of it all. The meetings with scouts and whatnot. And I'm happy with my decision. I think I've progressed in this organization, and developed a lot better here in a professional organization than I would at college. So I'm happy with it.
And finally, how are you enjoying being out here on the West Coast? A little bit different for you, I'm sure, but getting a chance to adapt to playing here in Northern California.
Yeah, it's a lot different. It's not a bad different. I enjoy it. The weather's nice. It's a good ball. It's a nice area, really pretty, so I'm enjoying it.
All right, Trevor, we appreciate the time. Congrats on a great year so far, and best of luck here in the second half.
Thank you. I sure appreciate it.
All right, that's Giants pitcher Trevor McDonald. We thank him for joining us here on our pregame show tonight. Giants baseball is coming up from San Jose right after this.